Good day. We're having quite a winter. Or isn't we having a winter?
No.
I have with me Lynn Coale, and he's the director of the Regional Technical Center.
That's correct, the
Yeah.
Hannaford Career Center.
Hannaford Career Center. So, we've had you on before.
And it's a pleasure to be back. It's always a pleasure to sit here and visit with you for a few minutes, Betty.
So if you've been watching, you know some of the things we talk about. Tell me first, before we get into other issues, what programs you actually are doing at the moment.
Sure. I think that one of the things I'm not sure the community is aware of is how much of adult tech ed that we do. A lot of times folks know us because their high school students are going to one of our 17 programs. And we have, so I'll talk about those first. As you are well aware of, because you helped us get the financing for it 10 years ago.
When you started out.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we've been doing this for about 14 years, right? So, anyway, at our North Campus, which was built 10 years ago.
And that's out on
Manelli Road.
Manelli Road off of Exchange Street.
Exactly. And we have automotive and diesel out there. We also run some of our courses for adults in butchering and meat cutting out there. And we have a small farm for our sustainable agriculture. So those are the two programs or three programs that are kind of located out at North Campus. On our main campus, which is over by Middlebury Union High School, we have a pretty full slate of agriculture classes, including our foundations courses for freshmen and sophomores.
Do they talk about taking care of the animals and
Yep.
feeding them and stuff?
We have a plant and animal science, and their lab is that farm I told you about, as well as our greenhouse down at that campus. And then they matriculate into a course we call sustainable agriculture, which kind of covers all aspects of agriculture. And it's really more of a food systems curriculum now. So we talk everything from production agriculture to processing of food, marketing of food, financing, soils, all of those things.
Like soils where you plant other plants during the off seasons. I forget.
The thing that we're really proud of this year is the Career Center's FFA chapter or FFA teams. Were first place in soil judging in the state of Vermont. It's the first time we've ever done that. So we're very, very proud of it. We also have a forestry and natural resources program. And that program is kind of located all over the county. Their lab is the outdoors. So they have a wood lot in New Haven. They have a sugar house in Weybridge. They do a lot of work out at the Dead Creek Wildlife Refuge. We have a big engineering program that again starts at 9th and 10th grade and runs all the way through juniors and seniors. And that includes a manufacturing component. We have culinary arts, our health careers program, and our human service program.
What is the health career?
Health careers covers all aspects of medical professions. So the students really a great course. The students do everything from they shadow with the doctors from Porter, both in the practices in the hospitals. They've even done shadows with dentists and chiropractors. So we have a very robust advisory group around that. Those students, if they choose, can get a licensed nursing assistant certificate
Oh, wow.
where they do their clinical practices at Helen Porter, who is a partner with us. They also get, they're going to get nine, by the time they graduate, 9 college credits.
Wow.
So within all of our high school programs, they all have college credit attached to them. Dual enrollment, I'm sure you've heard that.
Yes, yes. Supported it.
And so when that moves, when they move out of high school, it really does a couple things. First of all, for first generation college students, it tells them I am capable of doing college work. For everyone else, including them, they have this huge jump start on college. So a thing that I think that the Career Center is famous for, and I'm very proud of, is we have a higher percentage of our students going on to post-secondary than the 3 high schools that we serve. And the ones that go on to post-secondary, we have about 80% of our students are completing their post-secondary work. So we're really proud of that, especially when you look at the statistics across the state. That really isn't happening. We have a very low incident of our high school graduates completing their college or their post-secondary.
Or completing high school.
Or even completing high school.
With
And we have, out of our completers, we have about a 98% completion rate. So if they complete with us, 98% of them graduate from high school.
High school. That's great.
Yeah, so we're very proud of some of those statistics around there.
Yeah.
I haven't talked a lot about the adult programs.
No, go ahead.
I think that they're really outstanding. We have our adult coordinator's name is Lynn Schmidt. And Lynn has done just a fantastic job of working with businesses in the community and really identifying where there are significant needs. LNA classes for adults.
LNA?
LNA, Licensed Nursing Assistant.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to stay on that track for just a second. I think that I think that they're graduating 20 to 25 students a year through that program. He runs about 4 sections a year. And those students are going into all of our senior living facilities that are located here. The piece that just happened at Christmas time, Vermont Interactive Television was unfunded by the legislature last year. So that was a studio, a video conferencing studio that was located at the Career Center, and it went away. And Vermont Technical College came in and has replaced it. So we are in a partnership with Vermont Technical College, and what that means is, for instance, our students can start with an LNA in one of our programs. They can move to licensed practical nursing, which that course will start in the fall, and get that certificate. And they can even get their associate's or their bachelor's degree and their registered nursing certificate at the Hannaford Career Center now.
That's great.
And that's new starting in January. We're very excited about that.
Oh, yeah. Also, you haven't had the program at all before that.
We had not. LPN, they had offered off and on through Vermont Interactive Television, but now that whole studio is owned by VTC and us. And when they're not using it, we can use it for anything that we need to use it for. But significantly, the first classes we're doing are in these medical professions. Len, so L&A is a big piece. He's doing CDL program.
Don't use too many
Okay.
letters.
Yes, CDL is commercial driver's license. So it's the folks that are, hauling milk, driving school buses, hauling hard cider in and out. Anybody that's driving a truck needs to have a CDL.
If you're driving it for somebody else.
If you're driving it.
Oh, if you're driving it.
Yeah, you can drive it for yourself. It's still if you're hauling freight and those kinds of things. So we feel that's a very important entry-level skill for a lot of people.
Yeah.
He does a welding class, and we're also going to be doing a certificate in forklift driving. So lots of stuff happening at the Career Center, both at the high school level, which we're really looking at as post-secondary, and moving more of our classes towards college level offerings, and at our post-secondary level. What we want to do is be able to make this really incredibly smooth transition from high school to college for all of our students, and to be an attractive alternative for adults in the community to get further skills training.
Now, how do you work with the high school so that they get math and they get English and they get history and they get, whatever?
We are what is referred to as a shared time technical center. So most of their math, English, their academics, their core academics are at the high school. So they will have classes in the afternoon with us and classes in the morning at their high school. And then we also have embedded academic classes in all of our career and technical education. So, for instance, forestry and natural resources. Thank you. Forestry and natural resources has an embedded science class, and that teacher has developed enough math and grade level math. So we have math in everything we do. But,
yes.
But having that be high school grade level sometimes can be a challenge. Science is not so much of a challenge for us, actually, because of, if you're talking about internal combustion engines and hydraulics and those types of things, that we can find the physics in there. And it's applied physics, and it's grade level. Mathematics is more difficult. Forestry and natural resources has developed their course. That teacher has developed the course to a rigorous enough level that he offers a math credit along with it. So,
well, you don't have to know all kinds of math issues for all kinds of subjects. I mean, how much you do, and how big they are, and how this and that. I can't even mention. Can't mention all the things you use the math for in these organizations.
Right, especially with our engineering and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Engineering programs. So they get some academic credit for our classes, but the majority of their academic credits are taken at their home school. I should mention that we also have a program, two programs that are satellite programs of ours that are at Virgins Union High School, and that's in agriculture and engineering. And with both of those programs, we are extending our classes down into the middle school. So middle school students are doing exploratories around our classes, which are really kind of fun for the teachers. They're enjoying that a lot.
Yeah, because they need to know. I mean, this helps them all get jobs. All these things we've been talking about.
Well, we hope so.
Yeah.
That's our
Maybe not in Middlebury, but certainly in Burlington or Rutland or somewhere.
Yeah, the board 2 years ago changed their mission statement, which was a significant change, and they have dedicated themselves and the resources of the Hannaford Career Center to making sure that our students, when they're finished, are both career and college ready. Used to say career or college. Now it says career and college. So what that means is that they have to have not only the technical skills but the academic skills to be able to go to college if that's what they want to.
Now, does that include a tech school, college, or
Right.
as opposed to just a liberal arts college?
Right. So
Yeah.
Vermont Technical College has this minimum standard for their academics, and if you don't hit that, you have to take remedial. And they give an entrance exam to determine that. All the state colleges do.
Yeah.
CCV, Linden, Johnson, Castleton, all give the same assessment. We give that assessment also, and we provide remediation for those students who may need it to get a passing score so that they can get, because all of our students are going to be career and college ready. And part of that,
very important.
well, part of that is they're saying by 2020, which isn't that far away,
No, it goes fast.
that most of the livable wage jobs in the state of Vermont are going to require an associate's degree or above. And we can talk about, the minimum wage and raising the minimum wage, and I'm not going to argue about that. But I think we also need to focus like a laser on preparing our students to be able to get further learning.
We're raising the minimum wage. I wanted to raise it to 15, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. So I said, why don't we raise it to 10? And I supported that. But they started at where we were, and it's now, I think it's 50 cents or 40 cents every year that they increase it.
Right.
So we're up to, I think, 10 something.
Right.
Yeah, or 10.
But if you can get all of your students to be college ready,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about minimum wage, because most college degree kinds of programs, and there are jobs out there that are available that are way above those minimum wage standards.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to increasing minimum wage, but I'm more focused on making sure that our students are prepared for lifelong learning. That they have those basic academic and technical skills to be able to continue on that path.
And since life changes even on that path, they have to be ready to go with the flow.
That's right.
And learn as they go along that this job is now more difficult. I mean, even in nursing, they never heard of this disease that's with the mosquitoes.
Right.
What's the name of it?
You've stumped me.
The one where the baby's brain
Right.
runs.
Yeah.
Right? And so you got to learn about that. And as you go along, you got to learn about that.
We all need to be
All of you.
lifelong
Yeah.
learners.
Yeah.
And I think for a long time our goal has been to, that a high school diploma was the thing that we all strived for.
Yeah.
Neither one of my parents graduated from high school. So their goal for all of their 9 children was to graduate from high school. There wasn't really any talk about any of us going to college. I think that is what has changed. And I think post-secondary education is a meaningful statement for auto mechanics and diesel technicians, plumbers, electricians, because the world is changing so rapidly
Yes.
in all of those industries that, having a good work ethic and a strong back, I think is something we need to start thinking. How are we going to move that forward? So I'm talking a lot about certificate programs. I'm talking a lot about ladders out of poverty, and how with companies. How do you say to your line worker, okay, if you do these things, you can move up in this company. So
With the salary as well.
with the salary as well. There you go. There you go.
That's very important, to be able to have a salary where you can pay for the mortgage and the car and the food and the
Yeah,
furniture and the children and everything.
that's exactly right. And it's the level of poverty that is kind of increased pretty dramatically over the last several years in Addison County, and the achievement level of students and that achievement gap between students from poverty and students that aren't
Yeah.
has grown considerably. So I think that we as school administrators need to really focus on how are we going to start closing that gap. And one of the things that my board, it's in the budget this year, is attempting to do is to do some summer programming, after school programming, those kinds of things for younger students, really focusing fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, that kind of level of
Oh,
students.
really?
Yeah. So it's not a great amount of money,
No.
but I think that they've encouraged our teachers to write mini grants for it, and so it's kind of a new thing. We'll see how that turns
Like
out.
what
for us.
kinds of programs and stuff is after school?
Yeah, well, an example, I'll give you a couple examples. In agriculture, for several years, we've just been kind of piecing together the financing for it. But we work with Midsummer, and and those kids come out. Midsummer is a camp for students in Middlebury and surrounding area, a summer camp, and they come out and they work on the farm and do those kinds of things. And really, we work with Middlebury College. We have interns that come down and work with those students, and they, again, they're always looking at that mentorship piece. They're always looking at the college preparatory thing, the rigorous academics. So they're plugging those in at the fourth, fifth, sixth grade level. We've had pretty good success, those students returning to us. The other one that we're really excited about is within engineering, and we're doing a couple different things there.
That's a big subject.
Right. So we're doing a lot of stuff around coding, which is learning how to run the computers, maker spaces where we have a bunch of different kinds of things that kids can come in and explore and build things and create things, that improvements on products, those kinds of things. And then kind of the third area that we're presently doing is working with the Middlebury Arts School, to offer them some space and some mainly space and access to our space, so that they can do some art kinds of programs again with younger students. The purpose is to get students into our building, share that equipment and those resources, and to show them those pathways to both high-paying careers and college.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I mean, so you have a lot of students, and we want to talk about the budget. We got about 7 minutes.
No, about 7 minutes. Okay. The budget this year, I think, is a fairly reasonable budget. It's I don't have the exact figures with me today. It's under 1%. It's about about 0.7% increase over last year's spending. Probably the main reason for that is we had some senior staff members that retired, and we were able to replace them with staff members at a lower level. I think generally speaking, our budget, to be realistic, should grow at about 2 to 2.5% a year. I mean, I just think that's kind of the cost of living increases that you have.
Well, that's what we have, you can increase it 2%, but then we changed it to 2.9%.
Right.
So we are trying to get the budgets so that they don't grow at 5%,
Yeah.
10%.
So you
can't afford that.
What happens with school budgets is you have a bunch of retirees, and you hire younger teachers. Okay, so now you've set this new standard, but the next year they all get raises, so you get this kind of big jumps. And so what we've always tried to do at the Career Center is just to level that out. But this year we did take we are pretty much actually level funded, is what I would say, from budget to budget. Our enrollments, as with high schools, have gone down over the years. Right now, actually, they're growing a little bit, and we anticipate them going up. But because of that, our budget, if it stays the same and our student population goes down, well, that means our tuition rates go up. So our tuition rate didn't grow much this year. It grew quite a bit from 14 to 15, or from 15 FY15 to FY16. FY16 to FY17, it's $150. It's pretty minimal. So we're pretty flat funded in terms of the budget. We're pretty flat funded in terms of revenue. We offer 17 programs. When I came here, we offered 23 programs. So we have reduced what our offerings are, and we had to cut some programs that were very dear to my heart and very dear to the heart of this community. We have not done that for the last several years. I think that our board, the Regional Technical School District Board, is pretty dedicated to offering a broad variety of career and technical programs that answer to the workforce needs of Addison County.
Because when a business comes in, they need employees who can do X, and the other one needs to have employees that can do Y. And if you can't produce them, they move somewhere else.
And you look around our businesses around the county, you can go in and find our students, our alums working in almost all of those businesses. So, I went through the course offerings that we have earlier in this show. I don't think anything there is out of line of what the community is saying they need for employees.
Yeah. And you talked about how you talk to the businesses and find out what they need.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a pretty realistic budget. It's not a big chunk more tuition-wise. I should, as we're closing out,
1 minute.
I'd like to mention, and I'm going to get the date wrong on our annual meeting, but it's the last Wednesday of February. And we have an open house this week on Thursday, February 11th, and that's 4 to 7. And if you haven't been to that, it's really a showcase of student work. It's a memorable event. It's got great food and a lot of different programs that you can see. So I'd invite the community to please come out.
I've been there a while back, but mostly I can't go because it's a work day. So thank you very much for coming.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.